All right, what's up? I just was kind of ranting, just thinking about some stuff, and I want to get some things off my chest. I want to explain some stuff. So, where's the middle of the camera? All right, cool. Anyway, health in general, the whole health industry, health community. I'm just thinking about this stuff because obviously I'm licensed as a holistic lifestyle coach. I've done the Action personal training certification, which is kind of garbage. But anyway, the point is, um, I'm set up to teach health, and I've thought about this a lot. I want to teach people about health. I want to get people healthier because we've got, the estimated rates for metabolic disease and all kinds of things, they're at least 34% from what I've found. Some people say they're like 70% or 88% or 90, right? The point is, a lot of people, the lives that we're living now are, here, come here, buddy. They're more stressful than not. And I think that in general, my model of stress is basically, or my model of health, sorry, is basically an energy stress model of health. So you've got, if you think about your energy reserves, stress in your life constantly pushes that battery down, pushes that water down, whatever you want to think of. And, here's my dog. He's here to say hi. Hi, buddy. So, when you have stress exceeding your energy production, that's when you get disease. Basically, if you have an energy deficit, you have chronic fatigue, right? Lay down, buddy. Come here. So, you get chronic fatigue, right? It's basically you're not getting enough nutrients to make enzymes and hormones and regulate your nervous system. You're not getting enough energy, energy meaning like even micronutrients and macronutrients and beyond just calories. Calories technically like a unit of energy, right? Needed to raise water 1 degree Celsius or something. Milliliter, I don't know. The point is like energy goes beyond calories, right? Because these nutrients are the building blocks of compounds, chemicals, things in the body, neurotransmitters that you need to live, to function, to think, to look for predators, to hunt for food, to find a mate, to dance, to be creative. And so these nutrients are basically the building blocks for energy. So if you're not getting enough nutrients, because all of our soil is depleted, and life is stressful, and there's toxic chemicals in your shampoo, right? All this stuff. Like, yeah, you're probably going to be stressed out, no wonder. And then if you're stressed out enough, then you have acute stress, which is basically acute is like a short time frame. So your acute is an experience or a state that is temporary. It could be like an hour or, a week. But chronic is usually like, I think depression gets diagnosed at 2 or 3 weeks. So chronic states are usually longer, at least weeks, maybe months or years. So when you have stress acutely, right? So for a little while you're stressed. Ideally, you look at Hans Selye's work. Basically, it's the general adaptation syndrome, and this is also the 3 phases of adrenal stress. So you're gonna have, what is it? High DHEA and cortisol, and that's like stage 1. So you're gonna be just stressed. You're gonna have lots of energy. Stage 2, cortisol crashes. You have high DHEA. So then you're still kind of just going, doing. These are Josh Rubin's kind of words. East-West healing seem like good people. And then stage 3 would be cortisol and DHEA both crash. Dihydroepiandrosterone, I think. And ideally, you want like a DHEA to cortisol ratio of like 5 to 1 or something. But pretty much everything affects that ratio. So those are hormones. Those are steroid hormones. DHEA is kind of protective, beneficial. Cortisol is usually the most known stress hormone. I guess estrogen is another good one, but maybe serotonin. I don't know. But yeah. So basically, what happens is you're stressed for a short time, a longer time, and a really long time. And what happens there, usually general adaptation syndrome, right? This is Hans Selye's adaptation. When he's talking about strength training, I think, but maybe just in general, like general physiology. If you strength train, you're going to be stressed acutely, and then you're going to go home, you're going to eat, sleep, you're going to kind of come down from all that stimulus, you're going to start to recover, and then ideally you're going to rebound, and you're going to rebound higher and stronger than you were before. And just in terms of stress generally, like if you don't have, you're stressed because you got in a fight and your job's stressful and, chemicals or whatever in your house. So that's acute, and then you live this way, it becomes a lifestyle. Whenever you hear chronic disease, I want you to think lifestyle, because the only thing chronic is your life. So if you're chronically happy, and it's probably because you're living a pretty good life. If you're chronically stressed, it's because you're probably stressed out regularly, and it's not just happenstance that you're stressed out for different reasons on different days. It's that your life is inherently stressful. Like, nobody's chronically stressed on accident, There's certain things that you choose to do regularly that those experiences and those behaviors create your lifestyle, and you're stressed out frequently because you keep making those choices and you keep exhibiting those behaviors. So, and this is kind of just my general, right? So anyway, just to wrap that up, adaptation, you should rebound higher. Like, you should recover from stress and come back stronger. But what happens a lot of the time, I think now, because, if you have a pet, you can just experiment on them. This is probably not ethical, but sorry, Coop. If you don't feed a dog adequately, its health will suffer. Even if you get him out playing and you give him lots of dog friends, eventually he'll probably get problems. So the same thing happens with people. And this is why nutrition is often so important. And I actually had to recently turn a job down because, it was like nutrition and health coaching, and I had my own office, and they even had a goodie bag for me, and it was all cool. But the problem was, a lot of the people that went there are women. I have no problem with that. And a lot of them want to lose weight. Go figure. But the solution that they propose, this is kind of the thing, right? Is that usually we can agree on problems, but we don't agree on solutions. And we try to bridge that gap by understanding mechanisms and things, and we get into neuroscience, and that's not really helpful anyway. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mr. Heberman. But I don't think it's all that helpful. If we just focus on what a human being needs to be healthy, we'll be fine. You don't have to understand mechanisms and pathways. So, anyway, something bad is likely going to happen. I kind of got derailed there for a second, but I think you see what I'm saying. So, this place that I was going to work at, obviously, people want to lose weight. Cool. Why are they overweight in the first place? Well, we can debate that for a while, but I like to refer to Paul Chek's 4 doctors for that one. And then kind of you could propose a 5th doctor that is like lifestyle factors, like the shampoos and body washes and your cooking equipment, right? Your crockery, cookware. So all kinds of things. You have to look at the whole person, holistic perspective of health. That's what that means, whole person. I'm trying to use that word less. But they basically want to lose weight. Okay, to wrap that up, these women want to lose weight. Most of them are women, some of them are men, all kinds of different ages and populations, I'm sure. But the solution that they give you is shakes and bars. Okay, shakes and bars. So they calorically restrict you, they cut down your calories, and then they give you shakes and bars, which are full of gut irritants that cause gut damage to the gut lining, the mucosal layer, and the other layers. Your serosa, I'm sure. Anything. Sorry, I used a bad word. I was pretty good up until this point, but I can't help myself. So yeah, apparently some people develop GI issues after doing this stuff. No wonder, gums, emulsifiers, carrageenan, whatever. It's like, if you ate a steak from a cow you raised yourself, you're not going to put all that crap in it. So why are you eating it here? But the problem with caloric restriction, in my opinion, is that it's unnecessary, and stressful to the body, because if you need a certain amount of nutrients to maintain homeostasis, to have some kind of baseline health, to function and live optimally, and thrive, you need nutrients to do that. So if you calorically restrict yourself, what happens is you run a nutrient deficit, you run an energy deficit. So when you try to lose weight, everybody says you need to cut calories and move more. So if you cut your calories, you're depriving yourself of the nutrition that you need to build bodily tissues, to make neurotransmitters, to make enzymes, to make hormones, to conduct nerve impulses, to think, right? To keep healthy teeth, all kinds of stuff. When you're low on nutrients, how are you going to be healthy? When you can't supply the body with energy and resources, how are you going to be healthy? Well, I can get healthy later. I just need to lose weight. No, because as soon as you start eating again, your body's probably going to realize and notice the nutrient deficit, and it's going to try to get nutrients in any way it can. Like, this is like crash and rebound dieting, right? And then we also tell people to move more while we're restricting their calories, while we're restricting their nutrition. So basically, you're not getting enough energy to meet your needs, to meet your stress needs, and we're telling you to go induce more stress by moving, by training, by working out, by going, and doing. And then we wonder why we get disease, and why we can't get you to lose weight, and why you have night sweats, why you're low on patience, why you can't focus anymore. Makes sense to me. Seems pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you just had a kid, let's say you have a son or daughter, which I do, and speaking from experience, if I wanted to get him healthy, I don't think, if he's overweight, right, I don't think that I would just stop feeding him breakfast, and then tell him to go strength train, and then do 2 hours of cardio and all this other stuff. Maybe strength training would help, in short doses, pretty much what I do anyway. But, I would try to see what's stressing him out and what's causing him emotional and psychological pain, and, what's your dream? What do you want to do? What do you want to be doing? Where is your life not where you want it to be? How can we get you closer to that? What's one thing you can do tangibly that's going to get you closer to that? How can we just get you happier? How can we get you feeling happier, doing things you enjoy? If you don't enjoy things, how can we create more opportunities to experience joy? And, how can we get you to let go of certain things that you think you have to do but you don't? How can we get you to not focus on the negatives, to let go? And sleep. How can we get you to recover, right? Sleep is just letting go. That's why they say falling asleep, right? And then we start giving you good nutrition, enough nutrients to meet your stress needs, and then we get you moving. So this video is already getting long. I'm going to wrap this up. So basically, my problem with the whole health industry, I guess, the whole health thing, is that the more I've looked into it, the more it seems pretty obvious that if you want to be healthy in our society, in this day and age, you kind of have to pick and choose which things you're going to fix. Because we all live in houses. I've heard about volatile organic compounds. I've heard about blue light. I've probably heard about that too. Your the things you wash your clothes with, what kind of chemicals are in your... God, words are escaping me. But, you have to pick and choose. What are you going to do? Maybe you're going to eat right and move well, but you're still going to have a cell phone on you that's picking up, Wi-Fi, EMF, and cellular signals. You're still going to have people calling you at all hours of the day. You just pick and choose what you're willing to put up with. Some people are not willing to put up with any of it, maybe because they're stressed. There's some theories that say that stress is inherited, that like trauma goes back as far as 7 or 14 generations. There's some I haven't looked into it, I don't know, but that's a wild theory, and I guess I think there is some sense to that. There is some literature maybe And it's just kind of common sense. Maybe you could kind of infer that if your grandfather's stressed, your father's stressed about money, you're probably going to inherit that when you look at your parents' face, growing up, and whenever they talk about money, all these subtle, latent learning, kind of subconscious level of learning, right? You're going to pick up on these things. But to try to put a close on this, I think that you have to pick and choose what you're willing to tolerate. Some people are not willing to tolerate much at all, or they can't. To those people, increase your energy production. Try to reduce your stress as much as you can. And in some cases, we have to go back to the way that things were, which is basically my grand conclusion to this long video. Sorry guys, thanks for sticking around. But if you really want to be healthy, what kinds of practices, what kinds of people are the most free of disease? And not only free of disease, health is more than the absence of disease, but people that are happy, that are playful, creative, thriving, strong, skilled, smart, right? What do? Well, I think people were pretty good for a long time when we hunted and gathered and we lived outdoors and we had community, real physical connection, heart-to-heart conversations, shared bonding, men through hunting and gathering, women through emotional bonding and unity and compassion and raising children. This is just kind of how you can look at this, look into the neuroscience of this, but we have certain needs that I don't think that our modern life, like the need for community, as for instance, I think that we're nutrient deficient in community in today's day and age. Real community, real connection, real belonging, real purpose. I don't think anyone's going to debate that last one. So pick and choose what you're willing to put up with. And honestly, decrease your stress, increase your energy, determine what you're not going to accept and not tolerate, and what forms of stress you can. Do the best you can to eat real food and move daily and get sunlight and be in community. All of this stuff really just sounds like joining a little tribe of people out on a big patch of land and just doing your own thing. There's some people that think that's kind of quackery, that's kind of crazy, you're a little loony, you're getting off the deep end, but it's not like you're hurting anything. The 3 ethics of permaculture are to care for the planet, care for people, and reinvest the surplus or set limits to population and consumption. So what that basically means is, like, if you got 5 acres, you can't put 500 cows on 5 acres. Common sense, right? Set limits to population and consumption. You can't have a bunch of wolves coming in and eating all of a certain food, or rabbits eating all of a crop or whatever, because then there won't be any food. So you got to eliminate the rabbits. See what I'm saying? Just kind of set balance to things, and that's probably one way that people can intervene in natural processes and do good. So some people have to go to that extent, to reduce their stress, to feel at peace, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people can carve out their niche, their life in society that works for them. A lot of people are homebodies, no surprise there. And a lot of people feel better when you reach out and ask them how they're doing. So basic needs. Just find out what yours are and where you're not meeting them. I think a lot of people have similar needs. So we're more alike than we are different. But as far as helping people, there's a lot of people doing good work in the health world. There's a lot of good solutions being proposed. There's a lot of people willing to learn, and there's a positive ending to all this. But it seems unnecessary. Maybe it's not. Maybe there are a lot of people who are kind of off the path, who need to get back in touch with themselves, and maybe that's the role of a health coach. But I'm convinced the solutions are surprisingly simple. The problems might be complex, but the problems or the solutions are remarkably simple. So keep that in mind and keep being.